Hi, everybody, and welcome to this ITS Inspiration Transformation Session. Now, my name is Eric Depp. I am French and I am now in Malaysia, and I am proud to be an Herbalife distributor for the past 30 years. I've been living in over 15 countries in the world. I've been pioneering in 13 of them, starting the Herbalife business. Now, my objective of this episode, of this session, is based on my experience as an independent entrepreneur and a human being, of course, is to inspire you to make some changes step by step in your living in order to become the best version of yourself every day. And this is why I created this called ITS. Now, why I do it on Monday? Well, because usually there is a beginning of the week, and apparently it's Monday. So we start on Monday. Now, why we do it in the morning? There's no better time than in the morning. Why? Because it's the start of the day. And if you start good, then the rest of the day and maybe the rest of the week has a good chance to be fantastic and unbelievable. Now, why did I call it inspirational and not motivational? The reason is there is a huge difference between the two terms, all right, between motivation and inspiration. Now, motivation would come from me to pump you up, to motivate you, to push you. So all is in my ability of persuasion, of speaking, of motivating you. And maybe you will take some action upon what I'll say. But what happens when your motivation is gone? Because I'm not going to be with you anymore or behind you or pushing you. And that's what I call an external forces, motivation. Now, different inspiration. Inspiration is completely different, as it is you, the main person, to act upon what you hear from me. Now, I'll share some advice that, according to my own experience, did help me. I share it, and you put it in action. You hear it from my side, and you see if it makes sense to apply it or not. It is you who is the main player to put in action, because of your strong desire coming from you, pushing from the inside of you, not from the outside, me. And that's what I call the internal forces, okay? So please understand, what I will share with you is coming only from my own experience. And you do not have to believe one word of what I say, because it is my experience. But you can be sure that I will tell you the truth. And some of my experience may happen to you or not. And maybe when it happens, you will say, I have to adjust it. Because you will be able to adjust and adapt and act accordingly because of this sharing today. Now, my goal of this session, an episode, is to share some of my experience in order for you to be ready to face some situation in life, to react, to act, to be ready to live with abundance and energy, to have a productive day, week, months, year. Even so, whatever happened right now, we can have a productive year, to become more effective, to transform your mindset into a powerful machine that is going to turn happiness, greatness, action, kindness into a reality of every day. And that's what I am committed to. So let's get started now. Let's get enjoy this 20 to 30 minutes ride of today. Let me. Now, how many of you really believe that A leader is born. How many of you believe that a leader is formed? How many of you believe that a leader is born? And how many of you believe that a leader is formed? In the next 30 minutes, I will demonstrate that both are right. The theory of the past and the fact of the present. I will show you what you need to know to be or to become the leader you always wanted to be. At the end of these 20 to 30 minutes, you will know exactly what you need to improve in order to make an impact if you are looking for that. So let's get started now in the world that I call personally leadership. Now, what is really leadership? That is an interesting question for all of us. Let me give you a few information about that. Leaders, whether in the family, in business, in government, or in education, must not allow themselves to mistake intention for accomplishment. That's the number one of a leader. Managers help people to see themselves as they are. Leaders help people to see themselves better than what they are. You see already the difference? A good objective of leadership is to help those who are doing poorly to do well, but also to help those who are doing well to do even better. That is leadership. As a leader, you should always start where people are before you try to take them to where you want them to go. We start where the people are, and not only with our focus to bring them somewhere else. As a leader, we must learn to help those who deserve. It's not just who need it. Life responds to deserve, not to need. Very important to understand that. So you see, a leader is a person responsible for the destiny of others with his heart and his soul. He teaches others who will represent him or her, if it's a lady. He inspires people. He communicates in a clear and effective way to make people change. A leader leads by example. And he understands that for things to change, we all need to change first. Leadership is really a great challenge in life. And basically, it's continuously work in progress. That's a work in progress all the time for yourself until you are effective enough to attract people. Because as a leader, you need to become the person with the quality that you want to teach first for yourself. First is you. Then you can start to attract followers. Then you can be attracting to be followed. Remember that. First you, then the others. What kind of leader do you have if there is no follower? As I always say, imagine for India, Gandhi walking along in India and nobody follow him. Now, could you imagine that as an example, India would have had his independence with only one man? No. But the leadership of him was able to attract people to follow. And that's where change happened. So now, of course, for people to follow you, basically, you need yourself to have what I call certain qualities. Okay, very important qualities for you. Number one, I believe that a leader needs to be strong, but not impolite. Strong, but not impolite. You must, as a leader, treat everyone equal and with respect. Whoever they are, equal respect. That's the first quality as a leader. Anybody can become a leader if you treat everybody equal. You need to learn, sometimes we have to learn, to be kind, but not weak. You need to be kind, helping people. But helping does not mean that you lead people into delusion. It means that you tell it the way it is, according to you, instead of being weak and afraid of telling to somebody, hey, you need to change. If it's a right time to tell them, tell them. Kind, not weak. You need, as a leader, to be bold, not bully. Bold, not bully. What does that mean? You are in charge. A leader is in charge first, in a good or in a bad. Meaning so, you are responsible. Whatever mistake we do, take responsibility. You want to try? Do it first. Don't send somebody to do it. Go to war and I stay home. That's not leadership. Leadership is being bold, courageous, but not bully people. As a leader, of course, you also need to recognize and take credit for your action. But again, if it did not go right, you want to make sure that also you take the blame of the action. If there is anybody who made a mistake, it's not John, Joe, Paul. If the mistake has been made and it's you who did a mistake, take the blame. Okay, I made a mistake, move on, bam, next. That's a real leadership. Taking the responsibility for the good or the bad, for the credit or for the blame. That's true leadership. One thing that we forgot in a leader is to be humble, not timid, but to be humble. As a matter of fact, the biggest leaders in the world, you don't hear them too much. Why? They don't need to, but they are not timid. They're humble. Timid could affect your result. As a matter of fact, it could infect you. Timidity could infect you. Timidity could stop you to grow. Being humble is not means being timid. Only you knows what you can achieve. You don't need to have the world to know it. Humble, but not timid. Same kind of value make sure to learn to be proud, but not arrogant. Being proud of your accomplishment, being proud of your result, being proud of what happened to you and your family until today, but not arrogant. Arrogant because of your ego or because your willingness to feel what I call superior. No need that. You need to be proud, but not arrogant, saying to the world how good you are, because life will slap you around. Life is like a boomerang. You throw it, it'll come back to you. And usually it comes faster to you. So proud, but not arrogant. As a leader, you need also to have a little bit of sense of humor. Being too serious is not that great. Now, you don't want to be also turning yourself into be fool. Having humor does not mean being foolish. Sense of humor is important. Life is to be living, not just to survive, not just to go like a zombie. So as a leader, have a sense of humor. Take it as it comes. Learn to adapt as a leader to the reality and accept it and move on. The situation is like this. That's reality. Accept it, move on. That's a leadership. As somebody has always says, the past does not equal the future. So you have some situation that are now maybe for you a reality that could be good or bad. And if you accept or you don't accept, it doesn't matter. This is a reality. And the reality is here. So accept it and move on. Things will be okay. At the end of the day, everything is okay. So you can see the value of leadership with the time I've changed. But the concept never did. It is the desire as a leader to serve, to be a servant. As this Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu says, a leader is someone who serves and lead by example. A leader is someone who serves and lead by example. And in order to do that, you need yourself some value, but you need also some characteristic. You need some traits. Now, what are those characteristics to make yourself really the leader that you want to become or you want to be? Well, first of all, as like any other companies or big companies, like anybody in life, you must have a mission. You must have a clear value-based mission, because that mission will help people to follow you. So, willing to become a leader, the question is, what would be your mission? Now, some people have no mission. Their mission is to wake up and go to bed in the nighttime. That's their mission, you know, make a salary at the end of the month, and that's it. Now, it's difficult to become a leader if that mission is only about that. So you need to have a mission that is important for some people to follow you. Now, you need also to be a big thinker. Think big. Have a clear definition of your personal goals. and have the ability to help others to expand their thinking and imagination. Because majority of the people think only about what am I going to eat for lunch? What am I going to eat for dinner? Where are my next holiday? And that's it. As a leader, you can't have that. As a leader, if you want to become, you need to have a clear definition of your personal goal. But also you need to be able to help others in expanding their imagination, their thinking, not only the dinner or the lunch time, okay? As a leader, one characteristic is ethics. You have to be ethical. You need to clearly define your ethics, your fairness, the justice you have. What are your values? One thing that I have learned in my past experience is to write down what are my values and to never, ever go against my value. I repeat that. Write down your value and never, ever go against your value. Because in order for your followers to respect you and for you to respect them, you need to have a strong conviction and stand for what are your values. Now imagine if your value every day change. Imagine today today I will rob a bank. Tomorrow, oh no, I go to church. The next day you say, oh, I'm gonna kill somebody just for fun. Or the next day you say, you know what? I'm not gonna go and work today because I don't want to. Now, what are your values? And who do you want to follow this kind of value? Nobody. So as a leader, you need to be ethical for everything, including you. A leader would be called also a change master. He moves people in a direction which is more beneficial to them. Maybe not to him or her, but to them. That's a leadership. Changing is something from every day. Changing is about everyday change. No question, no problem. The leaders are also sensitive to the needs, the value, and the perception of their followers. They care for their followers. They understand the people who follow them. They are sensitive, not weak. Remember that. Not arrogant. Sensitivity to what the people need, to what people think. And again, move them in the direction that will help them. Now, most of the time, leaders are also risk takers. They are risk takers. They take their courage. They have the courage to do that. They have the courage to begin first, while some other people are usually here and waiting for the best situation, for a safer situation, before they take initiatives. So leaders are risk takers. They take the risk. They're not afraid of. They go first and show to people it can be achieved. Leaders are decision makers, no question about it. Leaders are people that can decide in a click of the fingers, finger click. Boom, they take decision fast. They are decision makers. They know that indecision is a wasting time. It's a wasting energy. It's a wasting of talent. It's a wasting of money. It's a wasting of opportunity. So they take decision and commitment to avoid future failures. Future failures. So they are fast. One gentleman says, successful people take decision fast and never change their mind. Unsuccessful people always change their mind and take slow decision. Can you imagine that? Napoleon Hill mentioned that. Not me, I wish. So, decision maker. You want to become a leader, you want to be the leader you always wanted to be. Learn how to take decision fast. As an example, I love that example, to go to a restaurant. And when you have a big menu, how long is it going to take you to choose your food? For some people, it takes ages. I have learned from one of my mentors to decide in 10 seconds. So I many times do that game with my family. 10 seconds is a rule to decide what we're going to eat. Bang. Take a restaurant, the menu, and decide. This. Because more you have choice, more the decision is slow. So, decision maker. A leader uses his power wisely. They take responsibility for themselves. They take responsibility for their action. They take responsibility for their result. They use the power wisely. Not like what we call a dictator, but wisely used, balanced way as a leader. Leaders are great communicators. They motivate, they inspire to take action. They focus on the issue and they resolve conflict. They build trust in their followers. They don't just focus on the problem, and more you talk, more the problem goes up, and more you talk and more the problem goes up, and at the end of the day there is no solution. So you need to communicate the right way in order that people, followers, are inspired to move, to take their steps, to have them to trust you. Majority of the team leaders are team builders. Of course, a leader is followed by people. Therefore, they build the team. Now, majority of, it could be a team in the government, it could be a team in your family. I was explaining to my son yesterday night that I went to what we call a warrior camp. And we had groups of 20 to 25, 4 groups. And immediately you can see 3 or 4 people are running the group. 3 or 4 people, not that they have bigger mouths, not that they have more talent, but maybe they take more responsibility faster. And I was one of them. So you need to use your power wisely to build the team, and people will follow you. Now, leaders are courageous. Being afraid is okay. Staying afraid is not okay. Being afraid is okay. Staying afraid is not okay. You can't stay afraid all your life. We were in a place last week and we went to a tower. The tower is 12 meters high and 20 meters high. And my son is 6 years old. And he took the decision to jump from 12 meters high. And he did, you know what? He did it twice. One time was not good enough. He did it twice. He was a bit afraid, but he did it. He did it. And he did it twice. And I was like, wow, being afraid is okay. Staying afraid is not okay.
I did it.
So remember, that's a leader is courageous. It's committed. Is dedicated to their mission. Is dedicated to pull others to them into their commitment. He gives confidence. He gives hope. And he never give up. Never give up. That's a leadership. So as you can see, leadership is a privilege, not a right. And we need to treat it as such. But we all need to remember that great leadership had a mentor. At one point, a big leader had a mentor. All great leaders had at some times in their life a mental coach or someone that has helped them to clarify their vision. None of us can succeed alone to become a leader. So now is the time to go and find your mentor. If you're not sure yet to start leading, find him, find her. If you have found it already, become the leader you always wanted to be. And with all this information, then you can start your day in full and positive spirit. Let me ask you, what if you had what you have heard today, you could start every day to put it into practice? Do you think that you will enhance your life or make it terrible? That's your choice. So I challenge you this week to put in practice some of my suggestions to create your own way and apply it every day. And I guarantee that at the end of this week, you'll be a different person. Remember, we are all human, not tree. We can improve, we can change when you are ready. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. I hope that you are ready now to act. So let's start to implement. And let's all of us live a full of health and wealth every day. And I'm going to see you next week into the next episode, number 7, about our inspirational transformation session. Again, my name is Eric Depp. I am here for you. Thank you to listen to my channel, Ask for Change Now. And I wish you to have a fantastic week, everybody. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.